Welcome back, and now moving to some regional news with the latest developments in the Palestinian territories. The Palestinian Civil Defense Agency said that Beit Lahia has been the site of an intense Israeli military operation for the last 2 months, causing further casualties as the Kamal Adwan Hospital, one of northern Gaza's last functioning health centers, was hit by several strikes early this morning. More details in this report. Gaza's Civil Defense Agency said 29 people were killed by Israeli strikes around a major hospital in the northern city of Beit Lahia. Kamal Adwan Hospital, one of northern Gaza's last functioning health centers, was hit by several strikes in the morning. Palestinian Civil Defense Agency said that the area has been the site of an intense Israeli military operation for the last 2 months and has again escalated in recent days, forcing thousands to flee amid bombs. Israeli forces have stormed in the area on several occasions since the start of the war nearly 14 months ago. The hospital said its intensive care unit director Ahmed El-Kalout was killed in an airstrike late last month. The latest strikes came days after the UN's World Health Organization said an emergency medical team had reached the hospital for the first time in 60 days. Elsewhere in the region, Lebanon said it is closing all its land border crossings with Syria, except for a main one that links Beirut with the Syrian capital Damascus. The decision came hours after an Israeli airstrike damaged a border crossing in northern Lebanon, just days after it was reopened. Jordan also closed the border crossing with Syria because of the security situation on the Syrian side. Meanwhile, World Health Organization representative in the Palestinian territories told reporters from Geneva he had extremely concerning information from the hospital. Israel's retaliatory military campaign in Gaza has now resulted in at least 44,612 deaths, mostly civilians. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for the afternoon, Mr. Ramzy Khoury, our Jordanian journalist. Mr. Ramzy, good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ramzy, for your time. And of course, with the recent attacks now on the Kamal Adwan Hospital, over 29 people were killed by Israeli strikes around the major hospital in the northern city, one of the few hospitals or medical centers that still had its doors open. How do you see this recent development, Mr. Ramzy?
Well, this is a fine implementation of the General's plan, which is to ethnically cleanse the north of Gaza. And the best way to do it is to ensure that there is no hospital or clinic up and running. There is no food, there is no medicine. In this very cold weather in the north of Gaza right now, people will not be able to sustain a living, and therefore they either die or leave. And this is basically what is being implemented. Unfortunately, the world is now looking at Syria and what's going on in Syria, and therefore the Palestinians are feeling very, very lonely right now.
Indeed. Mr. Ramzy, we're getting reports from several World Health Organization representatives that are in the Palestinian territories saying that they had very extremely concerning information from the specific area. So far, over 44,612 deaths have been reported, mostly civilians, since the aggression occurred. And this hospital, the emergency medical team has reached this hospital for the first time in just 60 days. So these latest strikes come after the World Health Organization has managed to send the medical teams for the first time in the last 60 days. So this leads to the question, how are health services being provided in any of these areas under attack?
They are not being provided. The reports that are coming out, especially from the foreigners who have made it to that point, are devastating. But as usual, as we've seen in the past 1 year and several months now, the world is not actually acting upon all of these reports. What is more of a condemning report than that of Amnesty International, that came out saying that they have deduced that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza. Immediately the American administration came out saying that they disagree. And it's fascinating how they are able to come out and say that they disagree over the obvious. The whole world knows that there is a genocide being committed, ethnic cleansing operations. The attacks on, it's not just the hospital. If they see an ambulance trying to save somebody, they will shoot at the ambulance. And we've got videos that came out, an ambulance getting riddled with bullets in order to stop it from saving Palestinians that have been injured.
Yes. Indeed.
So all of this is coming out, and we have not seen any action on behalf of the world, other than the political action that is being conducted by Egypt. Qatar is back in the game now, and therefore raising the hope bar that there is some kind of a political decision to get a ceasefire done before Trump assumes power.
Yes.
So maybe Israel is trying now to do the ethnic cleansing as fast as possible before a ceasefire occurs. And therefore the ceasefire will happen only regarding the mid and southern sections of Gaza, rather than include the upper section. Yeah.
Indeed. Right, Mr. Ramzy Khoury, our journalist and our guest for the afternoon, I'd like to thank you very much, sir, for your time and your insight, and for joining us on today's edition of Arab Affairs. And to wrap up today's show, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli participated on behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in the opening session of the 22nd edition of the Doha Forum 2024. The details follow. Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli participated on behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi in the opening session of the 22nd edition of the Doha Forum 2024, which takes place on December 7th and 8th. The forum is dubbed the Inevitability of Innovation under the patronage of Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, the Emir of Qatar. A number of world leaders, policymakers and leaders of regional and international organizations and concerned experts participating in the event to discuss pressing global challenges and formulate solutions and policies to promote renovation and cooperation to achieve peace. The opening session began with a speech delivered by Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman, the Prime Minister and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Qatar, in which he stressed that the Doha Forum 2024 came amid complex international and regional circumstances, which put great responsibility on the participating parties to achieve cooperation in order to propose solutions and policies that face the current challenges and explore opportunities. Prime Minister Madbouli is set to deliver his speech in the second day of the forum. He is also scheduled to hold a string of meetings with a host of senior Qatari officials, along with several representatives of the Qatari business community, to discuss cooperation opportunities. And that wraps up today's episode of Arab Affairs. Do join us again next Saturday for a new edition of the show. Till then, you're in the company of myself, Angie Meher. Thank you for watching.